Corporate Governance and Ethical SEO. The author, Neil Chinnock, Chief Business Administrator, iTech. Please note, all referencing in this video is based on the Cite Them Right 12th edition Harvard style. These days, a company's online footprint can make or break its reputation. Search Engine Optimisation, SEO, is at the heart of how businesses get noticed and keep their standing in the digital world. But as SEO strategies become more advanced, the temptation and risk of cutting ethical corners grows, with tactics like link farms, cloaking, and keyword stuffing potentially leading to costly penalties and public backlash. Corporate governance, basically the rules and practices that steer a company, Cadbury 1992, is key in laying down what's acceptable, especially when it comes to digital conduct. This essay looks at how strong governance shapes SEO policy, accountability, transparency, and risk management, using real-world examples and research to highlight why board-level involvement is essential in the world of digital marketing. Board-level oversight and policy development. Everything starts at the top. The board of directors doesn't just set the tone, they decide what counts as ethical behaviour. Tricker, 2019. When it comes to SEO, the board's job is to map out the big-picture principles that match the company's values, then ensure those ideas get turned into rules people actually follow. Boards that put a premium on transparency and lasting value are much more likely to insist on above-board SEO, Solomon 2020. Take Unilever and Procter & Gamble. These companies have woven ethical digital marketing into their core values, making public promises to steer clear of shady SEO, Unilever 2022. These aren't just PR moves. The boards regularly review digital strategies, weave SEO into codes of conduct, and put in place clear pathways for reporting issues. But words alone don't cut it. Boards need to keep tabs to make sure their expectations stick. That means regular SEO audits, ongoing staff training, and tracking the right metrics to spot problems. Garcia Sanchez et al. 2021. Even Google's evolving webmaster guidelines push organizations toward clean, board-approved SEO tactics. Google 2024. Accountability and internal controls. Good governance is built on accountability, making sure people are responsible for their actions. OECD 2015. In SEO, this requires clear reporting lines and strong checks to catch bad behavior before it snowballs. You get accountability by designating compliance officers, reporting to audit committees, and building SEO metrics into the bigger risk picture. When Expedia got dinged by Google in 2014 for link schemes, it was a wake-up call, underscoring the need for board-level oversight and real accountability, SLEG 2014. After that, travel companies started enforcing tighter controls like independent SEO audits and whistleblower systems. The best controls catch issues before they blow up. Regular checks, looking at backlinks, on-page tweaks, and content quality, help spot policy slip-ups early, Fung et al. 2019. And when there's a breach, transparent investigations and real consequences are essential. Transparency and communication. Transparency isn't just a buzzword. It's a cornerstone of effective governance and the best defense against dodgy SEO. Open communication, inside and out, lowers the risk of rule bending and builds trust, Solomon 2020. Internally, clear governance encourages employees to speak up about sketchy SEO without worrying about backlash. Firms with anonymous tip lines and regular training on SEO ethics tend to catch and fix problems before they become scandals. Garcia Sanchez et al. 2021. Externally, sharing SEO policies shows a real commitment to playing fair and shapes how customers, partners, and even search engines see the business. Microsoft, for example, lays out its digital marketing standards online, promising to avoid misleading SEO, Microsoft 2023. This openness not only boosts trust but also keeps the company honest. Being transparent also helps when outsiders, customers, regulators, partners raise concerns. Companies with open governance can respond fast and limit reputational fallout. The 2011 J.C. Penney saga is a textbook case. Once their SEO missteps went public, the board stepped in, cleaned house, and overhauled policies. Siegel 2011. Risk management and compliance. Managing risk is a fundamental part of governance. Tricker 2019. Boards must identify, evaluate, and address SEO risks, knowing that shortcuts can mean lawsuits, lost rankings, or worse. Boards that really get digital risk invest in compliance training and advanced monitoring. The EU's GDPR, for example, forced companies to rethink how SEO intersects with privacy rules. European Commission, 2018. Boards that ignore these issues might accidentally greenlight risky strategies that lead to fines or lawsuits. Smart risk management in SEO includes ongoing training to ensure everyone knows both the technical and ethical ropes, clear ways to report problems like hotlines and regular risk check-ins, fast action plans for investigating and fixing breaches. After Google penalized BMW Germany, the company revamped its oversight, adding board reviews and more open communication with regulators. SLEG, 2006. Gaps in the research. Even with growing awareness of how governance steers ethical SEO, there are still big holes in the research. This section highlights the areas where knowledge is thin and offers directions for future study. Limited empirical evidence on board involvement. There's plenty of theory about why board oversight matters in digital strategy, but not much hard data on how boards actually handle SEO, Garcia Sanchez et al. 2021. Most governance studies focus on financial controls or anti-corruption, leaving digital marketing and SEO on the sidelines. Solomon, 2020. We know little about how often boards talk about SEO, how savvy directors actually are, or whether digital risk committees exist. Without this info, it's tough to judge the real impact of board engagement on ethical SEO. Ambiguity in defining ethical. SEO. Another stumbling block is the lack of a clear, agreed-upon definition of ethical SEO. Search engines like Google provide basic guidance, but what counts as ethical or manipulative can change with context. Google, 2024. Academic consensus is scarce, especially as best practices and algorithms shift. Fang et al. 2019. Tactics once deemed okay, like reciprocal linking, might later get penalized. This grey area makes policymaking and audits a real challenge. Insufficient focus on organisational culture. Most research zeroes in on formal controls like audits and reporting lines, Tricker 2019, but the softer side, organisational culture and leadership's tone, gets less attention. Studies in other fields show that a strong ethical culture shapes how people act, Solomon 2020, yet there's little exploration of how this plays out in SEO. Questions about how values, incentives, and peer influence drive ethical behaviour in SEO remain largely unanswered. Lack of case studies and sector-specific analysis. There aren't many in-depth case studies showing the outcomes of strong versus weak SEO governance. High-profile episodes like those at Penney, BMW, or Expedia get cited, but they're anecdotal and don't offer a broad analysis across industries. Siegel 2011, SLEG 2014, SLEG 2006. Most studies don't account for sector differences, even though SEO risks and governance needs can vary widely between industries like retail, healthcare, and finance. Challenges in measuring effectiveness. Assessing whether governance measures actually work for SEO is tricky. There's little data on whether things like digital risk committees or mandatory training reduce unethical SEO or boost long-term performance, Garcia Sanchez et al. 2021. Plus, since internal processes are confidential, outside researchers rarely get the data they'd need to draw big-picture conclusions. Dynamic nature of SEO and regulatory change. SEO changes fast, with new algorithms, marketing trends, and regulations constantly emerging. Google 2024, European Commission 2018. Academic research often can't keep pace. For instance, the surge in AI-driven content brings new ethical and legal questions that haven't yet been fully explored. Likewise, new privacy laws or ad standards can create governance gaps not yet covered in current literature. Insufficient attention to global variations. Most research focuses on big companies in North America and Western Europe, with little insight into how SEO governance works elsewhere. OECD 2015. Legal and cultural differences can drastically change the risks and how governance is applied. Firms in countries with lighter regulation or different market forces face unique challenges in maintaining ethical SEO. Opportunities for future research. To fill these gaps, Future research should focus on gathering empirical data on board-level involvement in SEO, like interviews with directors and reviews of digital strategy documents. Defining clearer, industry-wide standards for ethical SEO, developed through ongoing discussions with academics, search engines, and regulators. Exploring how organisational culture and incentives affect ethical SEO, including the impact of training and leadership. Conducting sector-specific studies and long-term case analyses to see how governance frameworks affect SEO in various industries and regions. Creating reliable ways to measure whether governance interventions actually work, both in compliance and business performance. By tackling these research priorities, scholars and practitioners can get a fuller picture of how governance shapes ethical SEO, supporting more trustworthy digital marketing in the long run. Conclusion. Corporate governance isn't just a box-ticking exercise, it's the engine that drives ethical, effective SEO. Strong board oversight, clear lines of accountability, open communication and sound risk management create an environment where ethical SEO can thrive. These principles play out every day, from policy making and staff training to audits and public disclosures. As digital marketing keeps evolving, governance will only matter more, helping organisations win online while keeping their reputations intact. References. Cadbury A, 1992, Report of the Committee on the Financial Aspects of Corporate Governance, London, G. European Commission, 2018. Data Protection in the EU, European Commission. Available at https:/ec.europa.eu, info, law topic data protection to N. Accessed to 20 June 2025. Feng, Y, Wang R. and Zhang, Y, 2019. Corporate Governance and Internal Control, Evidence from China. Journal of International Accounting Research, 18-3, pp. 45-62. Garcia Sanchez, I.M., Garcia Meca, E., and Cuadrado Ballesteros, B., 2021. Corporate Governance and Transparency in Digital Marketing. Implications for Reputation and Performance, Business Ethics, a European Review, 30-2, pp. 250-267. Google, 2024. Webmaster Guidelines, Google Search Central. Available at https://developers.google.com, search-docs, fundamentals, creating helpful content, accessed, 20 June 2025. Microsoft, 2023. Responsible Marketing, Microsoft. Available at https://www.microsoft.com NES Legal Compliance, Responsible Marketing. Accessed, 20 June 2025. OECD, 2015 G20 OECD Principles of Corporate Governance, Paris, OECD Publishing. Segal, D., 2011. The Dirty Little Secrets of Search, The New York Times, 12th of February. Available at https://www.ytimes.com 2011. 02 13 Business 13 Search. HTML. Accessed 20 June 2025. Slegg, J. 2006. BMW caught cloaking, penalised by Google, Search Engine Watch, 6 February. Available at https://searchenginewatch.com 2006 02 06 BMW caught cloaking, penalised by Google, accessed 20 June 2025. Slegg, J. 2014. Expedia hit by Google penalty. Search Engine Watch, 20 January. Available at https://searchenginewatch.com 2014 01 20 Expedia hit by Google penalty. Accessed 20 June 2025. Solomon, J. 2020. Corporate Governance and Accountability. 5th Ednett Chichester, Wiley. Tricker, B. 2019. Corporate Governance, Principles, Policies and Practices. 4th Ednett Oxford, Oxford University Press. Unilever, 2022. Digital Responsibility at Unilever, Unilever. Available at www.unilever.com. Sustainable Living, Digital Responsibility. Accessed 20 June 2025. Thank you for watching.